What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video. And today we are doing a Packers 7-round mock draft. So I completed the trifecta of the other teams, and now we are going on to finish off the NFC North with the Green Bay Packers. Excited for this one because the Packers, honestly, you're in a very interesting time in your franchise. But after looking at your roster, of course, you brought Jalen Smith on. Don't know how long that's going to be. There is some hope. It's not as bad as I thought it was initially. So there's something to be happy about. So let's continue that. If you guys are new, like, comment, subscribe, the normal YouTube jazz. Of course, if you want to talk with me, links down in the description below. I cannot talk today, but let's kick into this. You're not here to listen to me talk. You're here to watch me draft. So let's have some fun. Obviously, I do this all the time. So if you guys do like daily football content, for the most part, I am 100% daily. So always feel free to stop by because we got new stuff going on all the time. And Evan Neal at 11 is atrocious. But I'm totally ready to add you guys to this family. It's a fun family. It's a good time. And yeah, we're just going to have a good time with this. So obviously, if you guys are new, we don't do trades because it's too much RNG. RNG, if you guys are unaware, means random number generator, which basically just says, if I restart this draft, I'm not going to get the same trades, so it's not fair. So number 25, we're sitting here, and I'm so used to my normal draft. I'm like, you got the Packers sitting here. This is an interesting spot because I think that positions of need. Right tackle, I don't think Dennis Kelly is going to return, especially if Aaron Rodgers doesn't. Wide receiver, I don't think I need to explain that. Apart from slot, I think Amari Rodgers has a future. Then I would probably say tight end. We have Robert Tonyan on a 1-year deal, and I'm not that excited about going Mercedes Lewis as well as Joseph DeGuara as our main tight ends. That's just not really a vibe. And then linebacker is something, again, that's flexible with how much Jalen Smith is, but I would say, yeah. And then defensive interior, because I know our actual edges, like our outside linebacker edges are pretty damn fine. I would just say, maybe if you want to, we could go after Nakobe Dean, as a really good blitzer. I hope he falls because then it would be a good target. But I'm looking at dudes more like Zach Harrison. Kingsley is a little bit weird. He is 265 though. Still getting used to that. But he's somebody that you can use as that 3-4 defensive end as well. Would rather see him more in that 270 range, but you're nitpicking at that point. Regardless, I think the best value on the board is going to be a dude in Darian Kennard. The guards are fine. However, don't know if Elton Jenkins at his level is going to want to stay past 2023 when his contract ends, or he might even request a trade out of there, depending on how Aaron Rodgers handles the situation. Pretty sure this is the last ride for him. I would look at 100% wide receiver here because there are some really good ones, but I'm just saying the way they built this board, you got to take advantage of it. Unfortunately, the big board simulator for TDN is not available, so I can't make this draft go off my board. So then we can see how it would fall, like the way that the TDN mock simulator goes with my board. So looking at it, I have guys, Jameson Williams, Wan'Dale Robinson, Justin Ross, guys who are really good targets down the line, Dontario Drummond as well, that are much better suited than Jahan Dotson or George Pickens right now, especially given the fact that I think Darian Kennard can actually play right tackle to a very high level. Left tackle, Bakhtiari, I pray to God he actually stays. But Darian Kennard's been having major progression steps. I am a huge fan of how he's been playing this year because he's actually worked on his pass reps and he's looking really good. We already knew he was an absolute beast in the run game. Now he's starting to turn it up in the pass game. Same thing with Akeem Ekwonu. These guys have just totally flipped this tackle class, and I don't think they're primary guards. They're looking like legit tackles, and I'm a huge fan of that. So it says interior offensive line. This is right tackle. This is to replace Dennis Kelly. If you are going to have Jordan Love, you need somebody who can actually help. And I think that we're going to revert to a little bit more of the run game with the guys that we have. So Darian Kennard is going to be a big boost year one. Then as time progresses, as Jordan Love progresses, that's when we can start switching into having him progress as a pass blocker. So the sky's the limit right now. I'm a huge fan of that. Again, not going to be doing these trades. I think that's a little bit ridiculous. But I think Darian Kennard has that potential. Of course, we're getting spammed to be able to just take it up a notch. I'm a huge fan of that potential because, again, you're not really going to get much in free agency. I looked at the tackle class. It's not that great in terms of free agent tackles. And I think that the most upside at that pick was with him. So I'm excited to see what we're going to get this next pick. Again, I do pay a lot of money just to be able to do these trades. And of course, it's kind of biting me right in the tail, right? So this is the one time I wish I did not pay for it. But if you guys want to see some trades, we do 3 rounds every single week now. So looking at the wide receivers on the board, I think out of respect for Jameson Williams, he is an actual late first to early second round prospect. We desperately need wide receiver help. This dude will be in the 4.2s. He is a burner. Wan'Dale Robinson, if we did not have Amari Rodgers, I would say let's go right there. But Jameson Williams is a necessity. I'm going to check just to make sure we are getting the best value. Ooh. Can we miss out on Jameson Williams? I need to see what our next pick is. Of course, it is going to let me scroll. Hallelujah. We are going to see when our next pick is because that's very crucial. We have pick 89. There is a chance that we get, because I know wide receiver is such a need. It's such a need, but I don't know if Jameson Williams is as good a value as Nakobe Dean at this point. I don't believe that Jalen Smith's going to stay there if Aaron Rodgers isn't. So, honestly, there's good linebacker depth in this class. We're going to take the legit need here. Jameson Williams, please feel free to push back on that. I know you guys like Nakobe Dean. Fuck it. We're doing it. We're going to Nakobe Dean. The value is unbelievable. And I do like some extra wide receivers in this class. I am praying to the Lord that our boy Jameson Williams does not get selected by our next pick. I would absolutely accept this trade in that situation just because then you get to move up and select a 5-star quality player right there. He is just unbelievable. So fingers crossed, we're seeing guys come off the board, but not at the position that I am worried about. We're seeing linebackers come off the board, which is a big plus because now I might have just totally shot myself in the foot when selecting if I selected Jameson Williams there, I was hoping for a linebacker to fall to us. So it's looking like it's not a terrible decision yet. Come on. We are so close. Do not screw me over, simulator. Y'all know exactly where I'm going for, and perfect. So again, I have absolutely no idea how this is going to fall. But Jameson Williams out of Alabama is a number 1 quality wide receiver. So we, of course, are going to be taking advantage of that. Wan'Dale Robinson, I just don't know if it's a perfect fit, but I just don't know how that would work. But regardless, Jameson Williams has that actual number 1 receiver potential. We might be double dipping the receiver realm, though. You still have Justin Ross on the board, and if he were going to be there, not anymore, we'd probably take him. He does have the build for a number 1 wide receiver. Again, don't want to become too dependent on certain dudes in this draft. Got to keep it a little bit fresh. But if there's a good tight end at our spot as well, I'd look at him. I just saw Likely come off the board, so not that happy with it. But Trey McBride is certainly my next big target. You could look at Greg Dulcich as well, another really good one. So we already got our linebacker, wide receiver, and tackle of the future. This draft is turning out really well. You could look at some corner depth here. I just don't really think that's right until later on. Edge-wise, Ali Gay could be a really good one. Tyreek Smith is just some extra depth, sure. Just not a huge fan of this defensive line class, apart from like the first round or two. I'm not going to be looking at wide receivers at all. Just going through, just seeing who's on the board. I think tight end's the best option here. I might be double dipping in terms of Trey McBride being taken, I think, in multiple drafts. But honestly, if that's the case, go Greg Dulcich. You cannot go wrong with either of them. I think they both actually fit really well. Trey McBride is an all-around tight end, and I'm a huge fan of his game. So big fan right there. At this spot, this is fun. Let's see if there's anybody who's actually slipping because I want to take him. I just got Riley Moss in a very recent draft. It's not fair. However, I would probably look at taking him right here. Ali Gay, just want to see his weight. He's 250. I need somebody who's going to be bigger on the interior. I know Tyreek Smith's not going to be that size. He is bigger than I expected, but I'm looking for more of those meaty, like 280-pounder dudes, and that's not what we're getting right at the moment. So, yeah, not really a huge fan of what's going on right now in the draft at the moment, but we still could look at dudes to step in day 1 over Darian Kennard. Just don't really think that's a feasible option. It's a weird spot because I don't really see many dudes that I like, and I would personally want to trade out. But wide receiver, Jaquari Roberson is actually really good. Same thing with Xavier Hutchinson. These guys are actually making really big plays. Same thing with Demas Jr. I might try to go after Demas. Dante, he's been lighting it up. So might just snag that one. little bit of a reach though. Don't really want to do that for y'all. This is why doing it live is a little bit tough. It's just you can't always just do things well on the spot and like super straight through, super smooth. We're gonna go THT here. I think it's the best value overall. I personally think he's a third round slot corner. He's really good. It's just it kind of sucks because he's stuck in this territory. Riley Moss will be my primary target, but getting a new slot corner probably is a good idea. Just getting some extra depth right there. Does have that potential to move out as a boundary corner as well. THT was a guy who I had arguably as a first rounder at the start of the year. Just if you are more pinned to a slot role, you're going to lose value. Keaton Slow is falling to the 5th. Honestly, I don't think that that's outlandish. Weird to say because Keaton Slovis was like the number 3 overall pick at the beginning of the year. I never was down for that. Obviously, speaking of stupid, Brees Hall, but you know, I've never been down for Slovis. I just think him falling to the 5th is a little bit weird. I think he will transfer because you're not going to come out as a 5th. It's like a 5th rounder if you're projected number 3 overall at the start of the year by ESPN analysts. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Let's see. Fatui's actually really good though. I know Fatui's actually really good. The only reason he's here is because of injuries. We're actually going to take him. I know this is a big bro schmo guy right here. He does have that 265 plus range, so I'm pretty happy with that. Let's just take him. Let's have some fun. Washington and edge players. Washington knows how to develop a defender. Like they do a really good job at that. Big fan of that pick right there. That came out of nowhere. I totally forgot about him. Probably would have picked him earlier in that 4th round pick. So for us to get him there in the 5th is some very good value. And I'm honestly surprised with how many damn picks we have in this draft. So you never know. I probably just jinxed it. Oh, we actually do have a pick. I was like, we're probably never going to have a pick again this draft. But somebody who I'm going to look for is actually Anais Smith or James Cook James Cook is going to be such a good value at this spot. Rachaad White is really good too, but he's not what we were looking for. I'm looking for an actual receiving back, and y'all can call me crazy, but I think James Cook is worth a 3rd rounder. He's just that damn good. Really good receiving back, can just take it to the house, burner speed. And he's kind of what you've been missing in Jamal Williams. So let's go James Cook out of Georgia here. I just love him to death. So I'm going to be sticking with him. Just one of my guys in this draft. Definitely one of my guys. You guys call me crazy for that. I wouldn't blame you. Also, the Rams having 3 picks in a row is actually very funny. But that's just the way it is. At this spot, though, we're going to go Joey Porter Jr., the long arms himself. We can't – actually, you know what? I usually get Joey Porter Jr. Stephen Gilmore, brother of Stephon Gilmore, getting some extra depth. Again, we only have like 3 corners on contract after this year. Here, you guys can look with me. So right down here in the cornerback realm, we got 3 dudes who are left on contract after this year. Yes, free agency is a thing. Yes, the cornerback class of free agency is good. However, not going to be putting all my eggs in one basket by saying that we are going to go to free agency and solve all of our depth problems, because that is financially not a good decision. So getting some extra depth there with some very good value and some big upside, I'm a big fan of that. Another guy who I'd be willing to take is Abraham Lucas. We do have a lot of guys of his talent level, though. Like I'm forgetting the guy out of Ole Miss that we drafted last year, but there's a lot to like from the dudes who are here. I would look at Colby Harvey-Peel as a dude who can be a good backup rotational safety, but I think I take him way too often. We're going to take Abraham Lucas. Again, you cannot have too many prospects, and I think that he can be a guard. I have him as around like a 4th round grade. He's a very solid, very consistent guy. Just he has 1 or 2 whiffs here and there. That's my biggest take. My biggest negative on him is that his negatives are really negative. But dude, as a depth player at 245, I don't think you can ever complain about him with that talent, being able to have that on your roster. Worst case scenario, he gets cut, and that's just what happens with these 7th round dudes. It's worth the shot. I mean, you never, ever can hate on an offensive line take unless it's like obviously completely stupid. Like you take a 6th rounder in the 1st, like the Steelers sometimes do. But that is going to be the video, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I think we did a great job of getting some extra corner depth and addressing the positions that we needed. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the far side. Peace.